Hello, everyone. Gunner here, and we are going to be talking about this ongoing story about Matthew Sluka, the UNLV quarterback, was at Holy Cross the year before, transferred over, and he will be redshirting and transferring after representations that were not upheld, essentially. So basically, he was offered 100K from the team by one of the coaches and has only received 3K, and it's only due to his relocation. Sounds like basically what happened was, there was no effort by the collective to formalize a contract. Months after he was enrolled, the agent Cromartie made multiple efforts to address the issue. Didn't happen, and then the school and the club came back with the contract of 3K per month for the next 4 months, which that would be 88,000 less than obviously what he was promised up front. And then they basically went to a per game. Basically, they were going to give him a check, game checks. Basically, essentially, is kind of how they were going to work. So it's definitely a situation that is going to continue to unfold. So if you're watching this, the will be more information out there probably by the time you're watching it or later on throughout the week. So yeah, they evaluated his options, decided to play elsewhere next year. Again, he'll be redshirting. He'll be able to go to a new school and have a full spring. I guess that was something that he wasn't able to do with the Holy Cross transfer because he was graduating from Holy Cross, and so he missed the spring. He'll be able to develop with the trainer, something that's always also been mentioned. And I really forgot to post this guy, so I apologize for that, guys. But yeah, here is Matthew Sluka. He, again, will be redshirting and transferring after this football season. So, last things I want to kind of talk about is a few things. I think we can all agree that we need contracts. I think that needs to be done in this college football space now with money and NIL. It's just my opinion. I think it helps both the school and the player. And that's all we really want from the start. Number two, don't always blame the player. In my opinion, this is how I approached it this morning. Is I went and said, okay, well, the player is the one that's causing all this issue, so on and so forth. And it's slowly turning around that it is really the school, is UNLV, and that there was not a legit contract, and that they're going against their verbal commitment of the 100K, right? And then lastly, I would say is from at least the player side, you gotta have something in writing, right? We kind of talked about the contracts and whatnot, but if you have something in writing though that says that this kid will get 100K, that will be easier for the agency, for the player, and even the school to hash this all out, in my opinion. So, all right. So last thing as well is there's three scenarios basically out here. Okay. Now we do know that this will happen again and again. Each situation will fall into one of these scenarios here or there. So scenario one: player in the school's collective agreed to X dollars over a time period. The collective actually paid Y dollars, with Y being a number lower than X. Okay, so that's basically sounds like situation. This is what Slook is in, kind of. Scenario two: the player and the school's collective agreed to X players over a time period. The collective paid the X dollars as agreed upon, but the player has some success on the field and decided now he wants Z dollars. Z, of course, is larger than. So that doesn't seem to be the case. That could be the case. That's obviously what I assumed off the jump, and again, I do apologize for that. Scenario three is the player and the school's collective agreed to X dollars over a time period. The collective paid the X dollars, but the player had some success on the field, and suddenly representatives of other schools are reaching out to the player or his agent and suggesting the player could make Q dollars if he redshirts this season and comes to their school next year. Q, of course, is larger than X. This could be situation three. We really don't know. Well, we do know for sure, and it seems like that is becoming more factual as the minutes go on. Scenario one is what occurred. They agreed on an X dollar amount, and he's getting paid the Y dollar amount, right? Which is a number lower than X. But he's got an agent, and we do know how agents operate in this game. And you could definitely make a case and an argument that scenario 3 is happening. We don't know. Obviously, there's been no reports of other schools reaching out and so on and so forth. However, I mean, just because it isn't out doesn't mean it's not happening, right? So I think we need to take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, this is wild, man. I think, there's obviously still things that need to be done in the transfer portal era, the NIL era. I mean, we're slowly moving. I think it definitely needs to be sped up more. But I mean, the other stuff are moving so fast. It's hard to keep up with this other stuff, in my opinion. That's just my take. But guys, let me know in the comment section about this situation, man. This is wild. UNLV quarterback red shirts will be leaving after a 3-0 start. UNLV's rolling. People are thinking they might make the playoffs because they're in the group 5. We'll see. But we'll definitely be following up on the situation. And enjoy, guys. Peace.